Hello, here we are back again. Something a little bit different this week to the usual question and answer session. I've had a real week trying to sort something out that came from a review. You know what it's like sometimes. You're happily going along, writing the next book, doing some research, this and that. You check your reviews, bam, out of the blue, Gods of War's got a 1-star review. And I'll read it out to you, which is the easiest way, I think, on my iPad here. Just get my iPad fired up. Oh, here we are. 1 star, locked font, 15th of September 2016. And this is what the guy writes. I really enjoyed the first book in this series, so I bought book 2. Mistake! Exclamation mark. Nothing wrong with the story or the writing, but for some strange reason the publisher or author of this book has decided to fix the font and fix it in a light grey colour. Why? It's seriously annoying, and even though I can still read it, it's not as easy as it would be if I was allowed to choose it for myself. Luckily I can still choose the font size, however with only 8 sizes to choose from, my choice is down to just right if the text isn't in grey and way too large, blah, blah, blah. In future I was going to ask if the ability to choose one's own font is included, and if not I will probably not buy. Sometimes it seems that Amazon loses its way, or perhaps they can't control the quality of what they're selling, but surely they have the muscle. Anyway, if they don't, we customers do. Which is a bit petulant, really, considering he's enjoyed all my books. I mean, I looked into it, obviously, I wasn't aware that you couldn't choose the font like you normally can on an e-reader, so I went back and checked it myself, and no, I couldn't check it. I couldn't change the font on my own one. So, I had to dig in there and try and find out what was going on. I went into the file on my thing, and I went through all the uploading process, and in the end I came across a box that says it's in a drop down section that you don't normally have open before you upload the file onto KDP, and it says embed font, and this box was ticked, so obviously all the font is going to be embedded, which basically means that I write in Times New Roman. When it's uploaded to anyone's e-reader, it will be fixed, embedded in Times New Roman. Anyway, I went through all my books, I unchecked all those, I re-uploaded all the files, I went through and checked them all, everything seemed fine. Unfortunately, I can't go into, once I bought a book, Amazon won't let me buy it again, so I couldn't actually physically check it. And I went back to the guy and I wrote this. Hello, I'm glad that you've enjoyed my first book. I'm sorry to read that you had trouble with the font on Gods of War. I can assure you that the problems that you encountered were entirely unknown to me until you brought them up in your review yesterday. Independent authors like myself typically handle all the jobs usually done by specialists in publishing houses. In addition to researching and writing the book itself, for example, the paperbacks which I produce go through 3 different formats, pages, Word and PDF, on 3 different platforms. The e-books are a little easier, just pages and ebook, but it's easy to miss something, particularly if you're not too techy. Having spent the day tracking down the problem, it would seem that I left a small box unticked on one of the final processes before uploading the final manuscript to Amazon. I've now removed it and re-uploaded the files. All my books should now have user-settable fonts as I intended. Thanks for pointing out the problem. It was the only way which I had of knowing, and I think you will agree that otherwise my books are very well presented. If you've got any other comments, please get in touch with me on my website, blah blah blah. He's come back. Thanks Cliff. Thanks so much for clearing it up for me. I'm a loyal follower of your books, and I'm enjoying this one, about 2/3 of the way through. And we're buying each one as quickly as you can get them out. So this is someone who's bought all my books, really enjoys them, but has given me a 1-star review out of the blue, moan, and it actually got a lot worse than that from them. I thought there it was done, but because, as I said to you, I can't check myself that the font is now changed. I asked Amazon to do it for me, and that just turned a bit of a problem into a disaster. Because Amazon are very, very hot on customer care, which is fine, as you know. But it ended up with Amazon putting great big yellow asterisks on my page of my books, on every book, saying that there's serious font issues with this, serious file issues with this book, blah blah blah, and it cost me about a third of my sales over the course of a week. This thing here. I went onto various forums. I went onto Apple and said, you know, I've unchecked this box. Why is it still embedding the font? And that they couldn't really help me. All they could really do was say, go and see someone at the Genius Bar in your local shop and go through that. But I'd have to make an appointment, and I needed this done pretty quick. But so I went onto the forums at KDP, the Amazon page where authors upload their books. And to be honest, it's, if you are an author yourself, or if you're thinking about using KDP, it's a really good place to you know, if you've got a problem, go in there and say something, because whatever you do, someone's always had that problem before. And someone came back and said, what you need to do is, well, there was various answers, but the one that got me in the end was, what you need to do is download a program called Sigil, which I did, and then I had to go for every book right into the back. This guy, thankfully, took me right way through the process, bit by bit, 1, 2, 3, do this, that. You know. He took me right into the back of the program, where he got all the formatting, all these little squiggles and triangles and God knows what. And there, and you can see the fonts are there embedded. And you actually physically strip out line by line every time it's in there. Go for the whole book, strip it out like that, and then re-upload all the file from this Sigil program, and then get in touch with Amazon again, because they can check it again. But it took over a week. It was over a week's work on the back of this review. I got there in the end. I mean, you always get there in the end because you have to, really. I mean, but it took a week because I had to go to Amazon, and then they check it, and then they come back, and that takes about 2 or 3 days. And then if it didn't work that time, you have to go through that process again for about a week. You know, I had these warnings all over the thing. If this guy had just said, you know, really enjoyed his books, great story, nothing wrong with it at all. For some reason, I couldn't change the font. I'd read all my reviews. I'd have picked up on that. I would have got it. I would have changed it, you know. But without all this, you know, all this disastrous intervention from Amazon, hopefully. I suppose that the moral at the end of the tale is, if you're going to write a review, even if something's annoyed you about it, something like that, it's quite really a small thing. You know, you enjoyed all this guy's work. Appreciate all the work that they do put in. As I said, you know, at the start, you only got to think of not only you think of the story, you write it, you produce every single thing. It's not like being Bernard Cornwell or someone where you write it and then write the end and then you stick it in the Word and send it off to your publisher and they do the rest. Independent authors do absolutely everything, unless they're willing to pay a lot of money. They do absolutely everything, and just, you know, just being, if you like, a little bit thoughtless in a review has caused all that problem. If you just said, you know, great story, had a bit of a problem setting the font, I'd have picked it up and I'd have got it changed. So, if you are, you know, I encourage you to write reviews, because all authors love getting a review. But you know, if there's a problem, don't go too mad on it. I mean, they're giving someone a 1 star and a bit of a rant, who's putting all that hard work, and you generally agree. There's someone here who says, you know, I'm a loyal follower of your books and I'm enjoying this one, and I'll be buying all the others when they come out. You know, why cause a guy that much problem? Mention it in a review by all means, or get in touch. You know, in a book, almost all authors have got a website of their own page sort of thing. There'd always be a connection in there that you can get in touch with the author. Send them a little email. Say, look, I really enjoyed your book, but they've got a bit of a problem with something like that. See if you can sort it out. But there you go. That's just an example, really, of how something that can come out of the blue, knock you for 6, and cost you over a week's work, really, to get that sorted out. And then it was really quite a serious thing for a while. So, bear that in mind when you do your when you reviews. Please do a review. But think about what you say. Thanks very much.